Hey everyone, welcome to LJ Daily Housing Market Update. Today is January 25th, 2024, and let's get started with our interest rates. Your national averages, your 30-year fixed conventional mortgage interest rates were hovering around 6.90, and they dropped around 5 basis points from yesterday's. Okay, compared to your FHA, they were hovering around 6.20. So these are your national averages for your top tier scenario. Then you have your Freddie Mac. This is instead of doing weekly basis from Mortgage News Daily, this is Freddie Mac's. This is on weekly basis, and this is updated today, and it's for 30-year fixed rates. They were looking around 6.69. Okay, you guys can see the 52-week range for Freddie Mac compared to your 15-year, which is 5.96. So 5.96 for your 15 years. So if you do have options to go with 15 years, just remember instead of going 15 years, maybe you want to see what you qualify for 30 years and still make extra payments so you can reduce those years for your 30 years, but you don't have to be worrying about making that larger monthly payment for your 15-year mortgage. So compare both of them and see which one makes sense for you. Next, guys, when we're showing you these interest rates, these are your top tier scenario. That means your credit scores are great. The higher your credit scores, the lower your interest rates will be. That's just a fact. Then your home location matters as well. Depending on where you're located, your city and state and your county will make a difference as well. Your down payment, the larger down payment you put down, the lower interest rate you will get. Your loan term, is it 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? That will make a difference. Your loan type, are you going with FHA compared to your conventional, compared to your non QM? That will make a difference as well. And your residency, will you live there or will you rent that out? That will make a difference as well. And last but not least, but how many units is it? Is a single family, two family? That makes a difference as well. Your buying power is increasing when these interest rates are coming lower. So today's example, we're using $700,000 loan amount. We are comparing it with 6.9, today's national average, versus 7.65, right? That's the highest we're seeing. So the monthly payment you guys can see in green here is 4610, but your loan amount is decreasing when the interest rates are going up. So a person who were at 7.65 was qualifying for only $650,000 compared to your $700,000. That's a $50,000 difference. So if the point of this slide is to show you guys if you have a pre-approval from previous months, I would highly recommend that you go back to your loan officer and see how much you qualify in today's interest rates. Okay, we're going to give you two different examples for your affordability. Let's say a household income is $80,000. They want to use down payment $60,000, and they took care of all their credit card debts. They don't have much, only $50, very low. These are the minimum payments they have to make. We're using today's interest rates and property taxes, let's say $5,000, and your property insurance $1,500 per year. This family can qualify for $425,000, and their mortgage payment will be $2,950. Okay, DTI that we're using is 45%. Depending on your loan options, you can increase that, let's say for FHA, up to 54%. Let's compare this family versus family number two. This household income is $120,000. Same amount, everything else is still the same, but this family qualifies for $653,000. So let's take a look again. 525 with $80,000 income, and then 650 with $120,000 income. Everything else will remain the same. Maybe this could be your journey or your family's journey. Maybe you guys are starting off at $60,000, and eventually when you have your income is increasing, you guys can qualify for a lot more. Next, guys, let's look at the inflation. Inflation is at 3.35 right now, as of the last reading we have in December. So hopefully in January's stats that this inflation comes down. If it comes below 3.35, it will be a really good sign for the housing market. And when will these Fed actually cut their rates? We're expecting them to do it in March or in May. Okay. You guys can see the chart here that the prices for the homes were increasing dramatically since COVID hit, right, in 2021, 2022, 2023 now. Last year we saw the prices increase as well. But guess what? In 2024, when the interest rates are dropping, these prices, the home prices, will increase. Okay, so don't expect them not to increase when you have more buyers for the same property. It's just simple supply and demand, thing to look at. Next, let's look at some of the properties that's new on the market here. This is a new one here in Leviton, listed for 549, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Pretty sure it's going to be a cozy one. So maybe you want to get started with a small property. This might be it for you. Another one is in Valley Stream. This is 749, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 4,000 square foot lot size. So if you're looking in Valley Stream, we can show you this property, guys. Next, we have in Oceanside. This is listed for 948. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. And the last one is in Elmont here, listed for 998, and it is 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms in Elmont. So if you're looking in Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, pretty much anywhere in New York City here, we can help you guys find those properties. If someone tells you, hey, is buying a property a good investment? Why don't we look at the stats? When you look at the stats for last 5 years, 10 years, 60 years, you guys can see that the home prices always has gone up. It does not happen overnight. It does take some time, but rest assured, if you're going to live in a particular area and you got paying rent year after year, it's better to buy a house and build some equity over the years. This was stats was for your Queens, and these stats are for your Nassau County, and you guys can look at them as well. Okay. Who's involved in a real estate transaction? Today we want to go over number 6 is your appraiser. This person comes in when you are going to buy a property and they're going to verify the amount that you're purchasing. So let's say you're buying a property for $500,000. This appraisal will come in. You're paying for this appraisal, but you're not hiring them. Who's hiring this? Your bank is. Your bank is going to hire this person, and they're going to come in and they're going to check the whole house and measure the bedrooms and all that good stuff. And they're going to compare your property with all the other properties that were recently sold in your area. They're really comparing this apples to apple. So this is a really good thing for you as a buyer. So this way you know that, hey, the price I'm paying, my bank is actually agreeing with you. Okay, so want to make sure that your appraisal value, when you get that report, as long as it's higher than what you're paying, let's say it comes out to 510, that's beautiful. That means you're already getting a good deal. On the other hand, if they say it's 490 and you're buying it for $500,000, that means they're saying that, hey, it's really worth 490. You're paying $10,000 more. So depending on your contract and all that good stuff, you want to make sure you review your appraisal and then you act accordingly. Okay, guys, if you're trying to purchase in 2024 here, make sure you're looking at your income, how much money you're making, your savings, how much you want to devote that savings towards your mortgage, your down payment. What is your debt looks like? These are your minimum payments that you do have to make every month. Your credit scores, how they look. So pay attention to these things: your income, your savings, your debt, and your credit scores. For your down payment, make sure for your savings you have enough for your down payment and your closing cost. So down payment, depending on the program that you go with, you can go as low as 3%, or with you can go 20%. Really depends on your savings. But on top of that, you need your closing cost, which is typically 3 to 5%. So make sure you have enough of both. When you're working on your credit scores, see if you can have your first target should be 580. Hey, my credit scores is not there. I need to build my credit scores. I want to take it to 580. Once I have a 580, my next goal is to take it to 620. Right? So this way I can have the FHA options and my conventional options. And the higher the better. But just remember, when you're adding a co-signer, their credit scores matters as much as you. So make sure their credit scores meet the guidelines. And then another loan officer might tell you, or another bank might tell you, hey, come to us, we can offer you 5% interest rate today. You should question that. How come they're giving me 5% whereas the national averages are 6.90? Maybe they're telling you to buy down the rate. If they're asking you to buy down the rate, you should be deciding that. But see if it makes sense. How much money you are actually putting to buy that rate down. In this example, we're showing you $4,000 and it's going to save you $82 per month. So if you take that $4,000, you divide that by 82, that means it's going to take you 4 years to get that money back. If you're going to refinance in a year or two, then it makes no sense to put that money down right now. $4,000 will go to waste. Okay, so see if it makes sense with your buy downs. Guys, we have about 16 loan officers at LJ Mortgage team here. We have 70 agents for our realty team. I'm the broker here. If you guys have any questions, concerns regarding housing market, or maybe you are under a contract and need some sort of assistance, or maybe just needs another opinion, reach out to us and we can definitely help you guys out. Okay, our contact information is on this. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining. You guys take care.